thanks so much for looking at my face and the screen I'm sharing today. Hopefully, I can show you some exciting things about the platform we're building and how to use your voice to create 3D worlds. So yeah, let's get going. So what we're building at Anything World is a platform that accesses static 3D models and uses machine learning to add behaviors to them and allows you to use your voice to create anything you want. If as I'm talking you hear like drilling, that's because we have a startup studio in like a car park in a classical kind of cliched way. So what our platform does is it has access to around 500,000 open source 3D objects from platforms such as Google Poly and Sketchfab. We use Dialogflow and IBM Watson for natural language understanding, and it allows creators to request any 3D object they can think of, will source it and bring it into their 3D world, and it'll behave naturally at runtime or making a game or app. So the possibilities here are kind of endless, and you can use your voice to create sort of endless worlds, which I will attempt to show you in a second. Just hit up the chat if you have any questions. Yeah, I think it is fun, Delaney. Thanks very much. If you have any questions, I'm looking at the chat as well. Otherwise, it would just be me mumbling and showing you lots of videos. So I hope you like both of those things. Yeah, so that's kind of an overview of the platform. Our journey so far, well, I won't go into all the details here, but we've been on Ubisoft and Techstars accelerators. We're looking to raise our seed round at the end of this year. So if there's any investors listening to this, please do get in touch. We love money. Yeah, and it's an exciting time for us. We've just launched a closed alpha in April, and we're building up to public releases from October this year. So if there's any developers or anybody who wants to play around with our tools also watching, again, do get in touch because we love showing people what we're doing. And that's enough words about what it could be. This is kind of how it looks right now. We have Unity integrations up and running this year. So you can just go into Unity, use text or use your voice or use code to add, 100 sheep in this example, or create underwater worlds and add sharks. The possibilities really are kind of endless. And this is kind of a paradigm shift in how 3D models are created and animated right now. So most of the models you see here from Google Poly, and we pre-process them using our machine learning understanding of the composition of 3D models, and then we can kind of bring them to life. Just to show you a few examples of how that can look, can we use it in spatial? I don't know, Tracy. I don't even know what spatial is. So yeah, cool. Let me show you a few examples of the kind of stuff we've been building so far.
Can I have one rabbit, please? Oh. Can I have some more rabbits, please? Wow. Hey, oh, that's crazy.
So enough of that guy. Yeah, so we've been working on a prototype with Ubisoft called Rabbids Playground that brings their rabbits to life in AR, and you can use your voice to request anything you can think of, like request a football, play with it. These videos are not that representative of the actual product, but I'm getting onto that in a second. For Warner Music, we have a close collaboration with them. We've been working on a kind of sing and play visual karaoke app, which will make sense when I play this little video here. Don't even gotta try. I like shot a nigga better over time. They just say I'm not the baddest bitch you like. So hopefully you get an idea of the kind of silliness we can create with Anything World using your voice, or even when you're singing, to bring in 3D objects and add behaviors to them. We also have a partnership with Instagram. I'll show you how that might look. I just want to wish you a happy birthday.
I'm a bit under the weather, feeling a little hoarse, actually. I think I have a frog in my throat.
Cool. So those are just some examples of the kind of partnerships we have going. We have an MVP out in the App Store and on Google Play, which allows you to request any object you like, brings objects from Google Poly, and then you can have a chat to it. It's kind of a stupid app with bad jokes in it, which is perhaps to be expected. Yeah, so that's kind of who we are and the kind of partnerships we have. But to show you how to create worlds with your voice, which is the title of this talk, I will show you a few videos now of how it actually looks in Unity to create stuff with your voice. So yeah, we think we're the first people, well, we're pretty sure we're the first and only. I guess if you're the first, then you're also the only. We're the first and only Unity editor voice creation tool. So you can just open up Unity, use your voice, and build worlds. So I'll try and show you some of that now.
Add 5 spiders, 7 snakes, and a crab.
So hopefully it's clear what was going on there. Like, I guess without any feedback, it's difficult to know, but hit in the chat if it doesn't make sense. But I'm just using my voice in the panel here. If you look on the right,
7 snakes.
it's interpreting my voice and then creating the objects on the fly as I say it. So,
Make an underwater world.
Pause, hold on. Presentation goes wrong. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, so we can also create entire environments just using your voice too. I'll show you that now too.
Add 5 spots.
I can find the right video.
Make an underwater world and add 100 dolphins.
Hopefully that makes sense as well. So you can create entire environments using your voice and populate with stuff. The dolphins are not as nice as the sharks or the killer whales, but I guess you don't know that. Only I know that. Another thing we can do is contextual creation of scenes as well. So if you mark up your scenes in Unity, you can add things in specific locations. I'll show you what that looks like.
In the background, add some mountains. And in the middle ground, put some chalets. And in the foreground, maybe some flowers, please.
Cool. So yeah, that's just give you an example of contextual placing things in the scene using your voice, and literally as quick as you can speak something, you can visualize it with our system, which is super exciting and powerful. We feel. Obviously, we're horrifically biased, but that's how we feel about it. Yeah, and also at runtime, you can create stuff too. So everything I've showed you before, everything I've showed you just now is in the editor using panels to create stuff in Unity, but you can also do stuff at runtime too. So the examples I showed you right at the start with Ubisoft and Warner Music were apps using your voice at runtime. I'll show you a few examples of what you can do right now in Unity at runtime.
Hello.
Hello, make 7 llamas, please.
Good choice.
Now add a giraffe.
Okay, let's find that.
Now let's talk to the giraffe.
Okay, let the giraffe commence.
Hello, what's your name?
My friends call me Melissa, as do my enemies. It's my name.
Nice to meet you, Melissa. What did you have for lunch?
Desaturated triple fry bean stalks.
Strange. And do you like any sports?
Throwing flat stones in the sea so that they bounce a few times is pretty good.
Well, that's weird. Let's stop talking.
Okay, you like that.
Cool, that was perhaps an overlong video of talking to a giraffe in a ridiculous way, but that's the kind of vibe that we're on. But hopefully you get an idea of creating stuff with your voice and then interacting with it. So we can bring out runtime, create whatever you like using your voice, chat to it, and add actions too. I'll show you a few examples of the kind of actions you can do. I should say, what I did say previously, we're early in this journey, so the animation, some of the glitches you'll see is just kind of smoothing things out. We're moving to a public release in about a month's time, which is exciting and also quite scary. But just to show you some other voice actions you can do at runtime, I'll show you another video. I certainly hope you like videos because there's loads of those.
Hello.
Make the cat chase the rat.
Okay, let's start chasing.
Ride the cat.
Let's saddle up.
So yeah, another stupid, all the examples are stupid. I hope you weren't looking for something sensible today. Thanks, Seb. Completely unbiased comment there. Seb's my co-founder, telling me how good it is. Yeah, so at runtime, you can control creatures that are in the scene. You can also create new things, as shown previously. So the possibilities here for real time. Oh my goodness, Tracy, what a coincidence. So at Runtime, you can request things, manipulate things. The possibilities here for endless worlds created with your voice if you want, or for runtime actions that you configure yourselves are really exciting to us. So, imagine fighting actions, fleeing actions, there's all sorts you can do. And just to show you, you can do something even more random in case everything's been too linear and boring so far. I'll show you something else, one more video.
Hello.
Throw an armadillo at a donut.
Okay, let's throw armadillo, haha.
Yeah, that's like a stupid random example that I was doing the other night, late night, and I thought it was funny, especially because the donut broke up. But yeah, that's hopefully giving you a taste of the kind of things that you can do with anything world, adding behaviors to limitless 3D objects, creating worlds using your voice if you want. And like I say, we're looking to raise this year, and there's a public release coming in about a month. So if you're a developer, a creator, or an investor, or anybody, please do hit me up at Gordon at Anything World or hello at Anything World. And yeah, love to talk to you more about it. Cool. And that's the end. I'm not sure what happens now. I guess nothing. All right, thanks everybody. Oh, now people can ask questions. Okay, cool. Anybody have any questions? Any questions at all? Going to ask things like, what's my age? How many hats have I got? I got about 30 hats. So Matthew, to answer your question, we use, what do we use the backend for voice to text? So we have a couple of native plugins, one on Windows, one on Mac, and we have mobile native plugins too. So we try to do the speech to text locally to improve latency. And then we used other people's services like Dialogflow, IBM Watson, Hugging Face to do the natural language understanding. Hopefully that answers your question, Matthew. So try and keep the speech to text local to improve speed. Ivan, your question is how far do you want to go with this? Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. To the moon or maybe even further. I guess this is quite a paradigm shift in how people create stuff. So we're excited right now about social media applications, and casual gaming is a nice fit, but we want to do higher poly models, maybe move into real-time film, like AA, AAA gaming. We feel like this way of creating 3D assets has so much potential. We've already done work with an autistic charity, so there's charity and education uses too. What's the biggest challenge, Charlie? I don't know. I mean, it's been a research project for about a year. So understanding any random 3D model that somebody might request is obviously a massive, very interesting, but a massive challenge for our machine learning experts to kind of, first of all, classify what model is being requested, then understand it and break it up and rig it. The whole thing has been a huge research challenge, but very exciting. To answer your question, Charlie, how do you split the team to work on NLP versus computer vision work? We don't really. There's 8 of us, so we just kind of all kind of muck in. The natural language processing, we lean on other people's SDKs, Dialogflow primarily. So that's just a question if you wanted to use it with your own intents, training up your own stuff, and then importing the ID into our system. And the computer vision stuff, yeah, all the machine learning people do that. So yeah, that's mainly used in classification in our system. And I think I've answered all of your questions without hearing them. Cool. Well, thanks so much. Thanks so much, everybody, for listening to me ramble on and looking at the slides in an empty office. But yeah, it was great. Thank you so much. Bye.